Are you having a hard time working out at home? I'm going to show you guys a quick full body workout anybody can do that only requires a couch and a water bottle. So listen up. Before we get going, you need to subscribe to Ryleyrehab before you do any of this, because I'm going to show you how to become the expert of your own body, making videos every single week. So with the home workout, I know a lot of people really hate doing it. A lot of people think they don't have enough equipment, but I'll show you exactly what you need to do to work every single muscle in your body that can work for all levels of fitness. The first thing you need to do is warm up. So this means just walk on the spot for 5 minutes. Get a phone, make sure you can time the 5 minutes, and make sure you get your blood flowing well, and make sure you warm up. If you're a more athletic person, you can actually turn this into a jog, perhaps even jumping jacks, but you want to keep it going for at least 5 minutes before you start the main workout. Once you're done the warm up, the first exercise you're going to do is calf raises. So that means holding onto a wall for support, coming up onto your toes, and then slowly coming down. Come up, come down. I'd start by doing as many as you can, see how that goes, and then do 3 sets of that. If it feels like you can do these all day, you can do the harder version where you go on one leg and come up on your foot. And then you do as many of these as you possibly can until it tires out, until you feel a good burn. The moment you start to feel that burn, you can switch to the other side and then do that one. So then this leg rests while the other leg works. This works really well because then you can just go back and forth between each leg, helping build the muscle faster. And for this and all the other exercises, I would recommend doing 3 sets of as many as you can. Keep a 30-second break in between if you're doing them on both legs, and the same idea will apply to every other exercise I'm showing you. And the next exercise you want to do is a little different than what you might have seen before. I call them couch rows, and it's a way to actually work out the upper back area that usually doesn't get worked out much at home. So this one's a little more complicated. Basically, you're going to get in this position where you're bent over and your elbows are on the couch. And what you're going to do is just rock yourself back and forward just like this. Once you get a hang of the rocking back and forth, I want you on the front part where you're here, on the back part, to actually pull yourself forward. I'll show you like this, almost as if your arms are going back in that direction. So you're going to pull, drag against the couch to bring your body forward, and then bring it back, and then drag against the couch to bring your body forward, and then bring it back. Really important that you keep a nice straight back on this one because you don't want to hurt your low back. And once again, do as many as you can for this. Some of you are a little more athletic and you'll probably look at me and think this is the most ridiculous exercise ever. So what you can do instead is you can put one arm here and just do them with one hand instead. So the whole idea is you lean your body back and then you pull. It should almost feel like you're pulling a lawnmower with that other hand. Go back and then pull. Kind of imagine shifting your weight onto your heels and bringing your bum back to give yourself some resistance. Then pull it back, fall back, and then pull it back. I guarantee you by the time you do 20 of these, you're going to feel a good burn. If not, you can always make it a little harder by keeping a backpack on full of your favorite textbooks. And repeat the same thing on the other side. The next exercise you can never forget about is a squat. And all this is just a sitting or standing up from sitting, where you basically start like this, come stand up, then come sit down again. You don't actually have to sit down all the way. Your bum just has to tap the couch, and then you just go up and down as many times as you can. Now for some of you, you're going to look at this and be like, this is way too darn easy. I got to do something harder. So if that's the case, what you need to do is take one foot and then take a step forward about 1 foot ahead. I'm actually going to show with this foot. And just go on the tip of your toe here. And while you do that, do a single leg squat, or a squat, basically a squat where you're using this whole leg to squat yourself up. And this is only used for balance, just so this doesn't turn into a really tricky balance exercise and focuses more on building that leg muscle. Repeat on the other leg. And just like I said before, you can always alternate one leg than the other. While one is taking a rest, the other one can work. And stick with 3 sets of these every single day. And now we're going to move back to the upper body and do some dips. So to work the chest and the triceps, we're going to hold on to the edge of the couch right here. Lean slightly forward and basically come down and then push up with both your hands. It should look like this kind of motion. When you go up and down, you can use your legs to kind of push off with your feet a little if you feel it's too hard to put all your weight on your arms. I would say start with what you can do 10 of. And if it does feel too easy, take your legs out of the equation, step a little further with your feet, and use your arms instead of pushing with your legs. If this still feels too easy, you can actually bring your heels all the way out and bring your bum a little bit further, and then push down, or push up rather, like this. And if you're at this point, I would just do as many as you possibly can until you feel that burn. Take 30 seconds in between and do 3 in total. Following that, we'll take the only piece of equipment you need other than the couch, and that's the water bottle. We're going to hold onto it like this and basically lift it up to the side while keeping your arm completely straight. All you're doing is just bringing it up to the side, working right in the shoulders here. And the good thing with the water bottle is you can fill it up with as much water as you want. So if you're a lot stronger than some people, you can actually fill this up. If you're even more stronger, you can go for the milk jug and just hold onto that there and lift it up. And I guarantee you, if you're lifting a whole milk jug, maybe you need to do a few more than 10 reps to make it happen. But you can definitely build your shoulders up by doing a lot of these. I would aim for what you can normally do 10 of, but if you're feeling like it's not a challenge lifting the heaviest thing you can find in the house, just do as many as you can and don't worry about it. Once again, you can switch to the other side, alternating on each side. While this arm's taking a break, this one does the work, and vice versa. One key thing with this is make sure you're not lifting so much weight you feel you have to swing your body in any possible way. So next what we're going to do is move back to the couch and do some exercises for the hamstrings, the muscles on the back of the leg. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the back of your heel, that's the back part, not the bottom, but the back of each leg, and then dig it into the couch, keeping your knees about 90 degrees ahead of you like that. And then just lift your bum up and then bring it down. And lift your bum up and bring it down. If you want to make it a little harder, you can move your feet further to the edge of the couch. I know for taller people, this won't be as much of an option. If you really want to take it to the highest level possible, you can actually lift one leg up, dig your heel in here, and then lift yourself up like that. And this is one, I'm sure when you get to rep 20 on this, you're going to feel a great, great burn. Switch legs in between. While one leg is resting, the other leg can do the work. Keep in mind you can do this on the floor as well, so the couch isn't a necessity. Following this, we're going to do some work for the bum muscles right here. And that's by doing an exercise I like to call clamshells. Basically, you imagine your ankles are glued together. You imagine your bum, your left bum in my case, is above my right bum. So you should be able to hold your hand here. Your legs aren't going back like that. And bring your knees apart. You're only bringing them apart about 1 foot. This isn't a huge motion, but it will really target a muscle here that often can get very weak in people, often neglected in the gym as well. So I like to include this in the full body workout. And if this feels too easy, the harder version is you can keep your legs out straight and then just bring it up to the side. Once again, you're only going no more than 2 feet on this because you really want to focus on that bottom part where it's harder. Do as many as you can on one side, then switch sides and do as many as you can on the other side. Following that, the next exercise I'm going to have you guys do is working the abdominal muscles by doing an exercise I call heel drops. And what you're gonna do here is you're gonna lift your legs up like that. You can keep your hands wherever you want, and you're gonna basically tap your foot against the couch and then bring it back up, and tap it there, then bring it back up. Now this looks pretty simple, but the main thing that's going on is actually right here. You wanna keep that back flat against the couch here, so you shouldn't feel like it arches. It's kind of hard to see from back here, but you basically wanna have everything flat, so I couldn't jam my arm underneath right here. While holding that, you can suck your tummy in too. That's a good way to keep everything nice and tight. And then you basically bring each foot down, back and forth. You shouldn't feel any movement from the waist above or from the hips above. Now, if that's too easy, you feel like you're feeling nothing from that, the harder version is you can kick your legs out, kind of doing some karate kicks here, and then just go back and forth from that same position. With these exercises, do as many as you can, do 3 times in a row. And super high level is to keep your legs in front of you and then flutter kick like that. Keep in mind, if you have certain back or abdominal injuries, this one might be a little higher risk. So I would find one that's the most appropriate for you and something that isn't causing you any pain. Do as many as you can, take 30 seconds in between, and do that 3 times. So that's an easy way to work out your entire body. You don't have any excuse to not do this. You don't need a gym necessarily, as long as you're creative enough and you know exactly what to do. So if you have any questions, please comment below. So if you like this, please subscribe to Ryleyrehab. Every single week I come up with new content, usually injury rehab, but right now I'm making an exception because of the times we're going through. So I'll see you next time, and take care.